A Conway couple was charged for child abuse after using rice as a punishment. On February 22nd, police in Conway received an abuse report that involved 4 children. During the course of their investigation, police interviewed family members about what they knew about the abuse that the children had suffered. And through this part of the investigation, police received doorbell camera footage from a Ring doorbell camera that was taken when Alyson Freese's brother confronted her about abuse that his nieces and nephews were suffering. So Alyson Freese's brother confronted her about the children being spanked and being made to kneel on pans of rice as punishment. And in the video, Alyson did confirm that yes, the children were made to kneel on pans of rice as punishment and they were spanked. When police spoke with the victims in the case, Juvenile 1 confirmed that on February 21st, she was spanked by her stepfather, Zachary Freese, and that he hit her roughly 8 times with a belt on her butt and upper thigh area. Victim 1 also confirmed that she had been made to kneel on rice for, 15, but sometimes up to 30 minutes at a time. Police learned that Alyson was married to Zachary. Now, Zachary and Alyson, I believe, shared 2 children, maybe 3 children, but victim 1 was not one of those children. They also learned that even when Alyson and Zachary were separated, Alyson would call Zachary to come over to her apartment and discipline her children. And all 4 of the juveniles, and some of them were not that old, confirmed that they had all been punished by being made to kneel on a pan of rice by Zachary Freese. When Alyson and Zachary were eventually interviewed about punishing their kids and what all had happened, Zachary was really forthcoming. Like, he acknowledged, yeah, he made the kids kneel in a pan of rice. He didn't feel like it hurt, but he felt like it was uncomfortable. So that's when he chose to do that. He said that, yes, he spanked the kids and he was pretty forthcoming. Even they asked if the youngest juvenile 4, if that juvenile got spanked, and he started to answer, but Alyson, kind of interrupted. She said that that child never gets in trouble. I don't know why she just seemed to want to portray things to be a certain way that maybe they weren't. When Zachary described spanking his kids, like Juvenile 1 had already told police that she was made to get on her hands and knees and then she was spanked. Now, Zachary, when he described the spankings, he said that he swung a belt like over his shoulder an average of 6 times for, any one of the children, which I feel like if you're winding up like that, like that's excessive in my opinion. And I know there are going to be people in the comments like, I received this kind of punishment and I'm just fine. Here's the thing. A pan of rice is meant to be a torture technique, a torture tactic. It's not something that I think a parent should be using as punishment. You don't punish your kids by torturing your kids. That shouldn't be the way. Of course, that's just my opinion, but more than even all of the discipline techniques and the issues with that, Alyson more than once in the interview described her children, all of them, as liars and said that they just wouldn't listen. According to the affidavit, during the interview with police, she didn't say a single good thing about any of her 4 children. When she was being talked to about the injuries that her daughter had, she had no remorse that she showed. Even when she was being explained the injuries that were caused by Zachary, that Zachary admitted to causing to her daughter. At one point in the interview, she used the word fat to describe one of her children. She said that when they were made to kneel on rice, they only kneeled for 15 minutes because if they were on her floor for any longer, she would be annoyed by it. Alyson said that she didn't know that these punishments were inappropriate, even after Zachary sat there and said that in 2021, their lawyers told them that he should not be spanking the older children. Alyson disagreed, but Zachary was like adamant that they were told this already. I don't know. This is a tough case. I know that maybe a lot of people will view it as being not that bad, but the fact that this woman sits there, can't say anything good about her kids, calls her kids liars, even though she was already confronted by her brother and admitted that, yeah, the kids were made to kneel and rise in front of other people. She's calling them liars and she's not saying anything good about them. And she's calling one of them fat. Like, what are you doing with your life? You think that you're so much better? I will tell you this, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me on a lot of things, but this is from the bottom of my heart because this is really getting to me. As a mother, I am honored each day that I get to spend with my kids. I am honored that I get to watch them grow up and that they are in my life. Like, out of all the jobs that I have ever done in my entire life, the one that I am most proud of is being my children's mother. And I would gladly tell anyone, yes, I am so and so's mom. They're not perfect, but they're my kids and I'm proud of them. And I couldn't imagine talking about them like this woman. Enough of that drama. So Zachary Freese was arrested and charged with second-degree domestic battery and third-degree domestic battery. Alyson Freese was charged with permitting child abuse. Both were arrested on February 28th and bonded out on March 5th.